Today, at this time of the day, I'm going to do one of those don't do this videos. Earlier today, I was up at the fortress putting a bunch of concrete in. Now that I'm a little bit tired from doing that, I'm going to come down and solve this problem that the Cat 955L has. I don't know why somebody did this, but you never do this. Somebody welded the tensioner for the tracks, and this track is sagging and the other side sagging worse. So I've already tried to cut out some, so I'm going to grab an oxyacetylene torch, and this one looks like it's going to be the easiest because they've only welded right here and I can cut it. The other one is going to be more of an issue on the other side. But I seriously don't do this sort of thing. I mean, there is no reason to do this. There's lots of ways that there's issues with the piston to be able to keep, to push tension on this temporarily, but this is not the way. So I'm going to grab the old oxyacetylene and we're going to cut this thing. Well, here's my oxyacetylene setup. Thanks to Bob. I got the regulators and the cutting torch he gave me along with a compressor when I had the fire and lost all my other torch equipment. And I had bought the tanks from him from the before, and that was all from the Jack Tomlin's old yard depot. He was a nice guy and had really cool, and passed away a while back. So I'm going to use that equipment. Got it all set up. Got my old goggles. Strap broke, so I've got some metal wire holding it on. And we're going to get to cutting that. So let's get this all set up. Well, I've cut down some of this here, but I'm going to have to bring it down some more so that has a full slide there. And that is to cut in and around here. I'd like to take all this out, but I'm not going to. That would require later on me actually probably splitting the track and pulling it off. Since the tracks have to be tightened, this is going to be going to forward this way. So if that block is sitting there, it should be fine. The one, however, it's going to be sliding this direction, so I need to make this really smooth on this side. I don't know what they were thinking about. This is just one of the blatant don't do this sort of whatever you call this, repairs or whatever. So it's a real pain in the butt. I'm going to have to use a torch and cut that down a little bit and then hit it with a grinder. Hopefully I can get this side done today before the sun goes down on me. And I try to get as much as I can off. There's more to this than I realized. Looking up inside there seems to be some sort of springs or tensioners that they may have been having an issue with when they did that. But I'll take care of that. I'll figure out what's going on there. And we'll work on this side, get this side working. Once this side's working, then we'll do the other side. Now I'm going to see if I can get it to move now. I've cut it and smoothed the end pretty good. So I'm hooked up to the grease zerk. And I am going to start doing a few pumps here and see how it goes. Ah, I heard some cracking down here. Sounds like something's moving. And the track is tightening. I keep pumping it. It's moving. Let me take a quick look. Well, it pushed forward a little bit and stopped because my grease zerk is a little bit worn. I'm gonna have to replace it because when I try to put more grease, when I'm putting a lot of pressure trying to push that forward, it's just leaking here at the grease zerk. So trying to figure out how that's on. Isn't that just, yeah, I might have an issue because, interesting. I have this replacement little grease zerk which usually goes in, but that is one solid piece. I think I'm out of luck. I thought I could swap it. Well, I guess I'm not going to be able to swap it. That is going to be interesting. I'm going to have to either find a new one of those or make an adapter so I can put these on. I'm going to keep trying and hopefully get this thing to take grease without all leaking right there. But if I have to, maybe I'll put another jack to help push to get the grease in. Because that's bad having sort of a bad grease zerk right there. That'll cause a lot of issues, especially when you start running. And if it starts leaking grease out of that, then this thing loosens up again. So let me see if I can get it moving some more. Well, it seemed to move a little bit and then stopped. So I'm now want to, I'm going to pop this piece off here. It looks like this is just a side piece. That'll let me see a little bit more what's going on the slide. So if I can get this thing off, Seems like there's some tension on this. Oh, no. There we go. Oh, sort of interesting. What is that? Looks like these are like wedging. Almost like they're fixed to that. Those little round things. I do not know what's going on here. Oh, I finally understand. Okay. So the issue is I thought this plate right here was part of this that they did for spacing. But no. It is, this needs to move freely forward. And I've got that weld right there. So I'm butting up in there and I'm trying to force this thing forward. I thought this was welded down to here to give us spacing, but no, this is part of this system here. That's why. So I got to cut all this weld off right here to make this move freely. I think it is broke free right there. Ah, I understand. All right, well, I have to clean this thing up. I got to cut all that weld out right there. I understand now. Well, that's going to take a little more work. But I understand more on what's going on here. So yeah, I can cut quite a bit of this off. So they have apparently some sort of springs in here and spacers for this thing here. That's very interesting. All right, so that's why it's being hung up. I've got to cut this plate free from here too. Ah, it's a lot of work. I'm going to see if I can, oh, I broke it free. So that free here, is it free over on this side? Free on that side now. So, I believe this thing should slide now. Whoop. With that all. So, it's like underneath some sort of tension, but it doesn't seem to be that good of tension. Wonder if that was an issue with this thing being broken or something here. Do not know exactly how this works. It's got to be some more something to it. But let's add some grease and see if this thing will finally really move a little bit more forward. It moved a little bit, but just was camming on those pieces. So let's try it. Okay, I've added some grease now, and now it's catching. I'm not putting a lot yet. I can hear it creaking, and I can put this right here. Track is slowly going up. I'm watching it. It's hard to get this thing so it doesn't. It's grease zerk is really bad. It seems like the track has gone up a little bit, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna see what else is binding, if anything is. Well, you can see it's moved a ½ inch. My tracks have tightened up nicely. And it is moved forward. So that is really nice. I'll probably run it a little bit and then add a little more grease. Might be a little loose still, but not too bad. It's hard to get more grease in. As soon as the pressure reaches a certain point, that grease zerk is wore out and just it just starts leaking. So that may be an issue. So I got to figure out probably replace that with something that I can swap with regular grease zerks. But you can see this side, and if I go around, track on this side is just sagging. Yeah, it's sagging really good. But this has a lot more welds done to it. I'm gonna have to be taking this off. I can cut that. What I'll end up having to do is I'll cut across it just with the cutting disc. Take these off, pop this off, then I can get in to find out and see what I've got going on here. So I'm gonna do that next. I'm gonna clean this up and see if I can get some these at this side at least tightened up a little bit. Well, so far things aren't looking up very well. Broke the bolt head on those too. Even heating up a little bit here. I just couldn't get those and just broke them off. Not a big deal. Just more time. I have to simply take the torch and I blow into the center and blow out the bolt. And then I have to run a brand new tap in there. But now I've got to cut this weld and get this plate off, and then work on getting those broken bolts out. Well, looking at this one looks like it is missing the wear plate. So I am going to have to make a new wear plate, which is not really a big deal. But I don't know exactly what's we'll use to hold. Wait, no, the wear plate's in there. Ah, there it is. Okay, I was thinking, so we've got everything's still there. Oh, they really welded it really good right there. This is not too bad. That breaks free pretty quick. Yeah, one of these days it'd be nice to go through this and redo this whole assembly right here. But I'm not quite understanding why they did what they did. It just doesn't really make too much sense. But I got these two broken bolts right there. I will be working on trying to get those free. They're supposed to be like spacers. Somebody put a bunch of spacers on this side. That's sort of interesting, because I see like a slightly off on that, but I believe that has to do because there's a spacer here but missing here. Oh, that's it, or something like that. Anyway, I'm gonna do some more work, see if I can possibly pull these things out or get them all set to come out and cleaned up, and then cut these sections out. So let me do that now. At least when the plate came off, this is cast iron and they welded regular, so it just snapped off. But I've noticed that these bolts, they're in there pretty good. So what I just do is, before doing much, I just pound on, just beat on them quite a bit. Put a lot of stress on it. Try to break free any of the rust that's around the threads there. I will try with next to the vice grips, then heat them up really hot, then cool them, and then try to pull them out, and just keep working it. And then if I break it off again so it's flush, then I just have to use a torch and blow in through the center. If it's really rusty, it really helps you, because when you're blowing down the center to blow the bolt out, the rust acts like an insulator so you don't mess up the threads. You may like nib a little bit of a thread here and there, but basically you can save all the threads. I really could use, when I come back, put another tap through those and clean them out. But let's see if I can free them. Getting that thing as hot as I can. I'm losing the temper on that bolt. It'll make it easy to twist off more, but I just need it enough to get it loose enough that the vice grips will pull it. If not, then I got to go to torching it. I'm just going to get this thing, everything really nice and hot there. I'll grab some water and pour it on. Looks like I've broke it free. The threads still have an issue inside, so you just got to work it carefully. Keep working it around and around. Because what sometimes happens is the threads will basically round out. But I got it out. So I will do the same thing on that one. Might hit it a couple more times with the hammer, then heat it super hot and cool it down, and see if I can get that one out. Okay, I got the second one out. And when I do this, I only use vice grips. The vice grip brand. I don't know about the issues with other ones. Every time I use other ones, they bend. The vice grip ones, I never have any issues. And I was able to get out these frozen bolts. I didn't have to torch them out. So I get these off, then I will finish getting out this weld and this back weld. The back weld's the easiest one. This one's a little harder, a little bit forward more. So let's get to that. Well, I've cut pretty much most of that weld out. I've got to keep working. I think I've got that area right here completely taken care of, but then I just got this little bit here to do. It's a little bit tougher. Welded a little bit around to the back, but I'll just put probably a wedge in here and try to pop it up, because there's a little bit of slop in the unit. But so I'm going to grind down and use a cutting disc and see where I can get from there. Well, I've completely lost the light. Sun's gone down. But I think, yeah, I think I've got it cut free right there. So now I'm just going to go and on the grease zerk and see if I can get it to move. So it's getting hard to me to do the filming here when it gets so dark. And but I want to get this thing at least moving and somewhat tight tonight. I got to bring a few parts for it tomorrow, like some bolts and stuff, but I want to have it like working here before I end this video. So yeah, I just got so much to do. Got to get things done. All right, well, I'm going to put the cam down, and I am going to find the greaser, clean it up, and then put some grease and see what happens. I found one other spot. Didn't notice this. Towards the back of this, this is a, looks like some sort of railroad spike or something. I got to get that thing out of there too. Cut that out. Well, I seem to have got it broken free, but I've been putting like a tube and a half of grease, and it just moved a little bit, just a very little bit. I'm not sure because the grease keeps going in, but it is now so dark out here that I cannot see anything. And I just stepped on the oxyacetylene torch. So I guess for now, I'm going to call it a night. Wow, this thing is really, really bright. And So this is just going to be, I guess, part one. I'll let you know what happens because I started to tear apart the all the covers, as you can see right here. So I can see this. I got my spring there. The bolts that are holding this are frozen in, and both of the bolts holding that, the only two bolts holding it, they broke off. So I'm going to have to be getting those out. There's so much dirt in here. Both sides is going to have to really be opened all the way up and all cleaned out, because these aren't going to function right if those springs are just like completely encased in dirt. So I wish I had a pressure washer out here, but I don't. So I want to thank everybody for watching. All right, and if you haven't subscribed and you like watching it, subscribe. If you don't want to, that's fine. Same with the likes and the notifications. But it really helps me out when everybody watches my videos. It brings in the money so I can get this stuff repaired and work on the fortress. So I thank all of you for all your support, and I will see you on the next video.